What a fool I am. I know nothing of your gods, Orthorn. Or if even you believed in them yourself. Yet I have done my best and prayed for your soul. Prayed for your spirit to be taken by whatever deity it is that you held true. I can help you no more. I wish this wasn't the case. I think we could have talked. Perhaps you could make me understand what it is that you saw in such magics. I don't know.
Well, hello and welcome. My name is Joe and I am the Panicked Monk, and you're watching Lost in Time, a Dwemer's Tale. Szenac has made it back from Felglow with the books that he was asked to retrieve, and an unexpected item as well. That is taking Orthorn's body all the way from Felglow back to Winterhold College.
Yes?
He pleaded his case, and though he was not allowed to bring Orthorn's body to rest within the college grounds, he was granted permission to lay him to rest within the city proper. So, that is what he has done. And now, Szenac is quite tired. It's late, as you can see, and he is going to retire to his room, get out of his armor, and make himself comfortable as best he can.
I'm hungry, I'm tired, but I cannot sleep. I must get out of these clothes. This armor is heavy, and it's cold, and it's uncomfortable. What do I have? What do I have? Let's get rid of all of this stuff. No. Put it all away. Let's see. No. That looks comfortable.
You're certainly making a name for yourself.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Do you now? Well, I think it's time. Let's return these books. I can't go like this, though.
So, Szenac is now going to change out of his clothes that he had passed out in, more or less. Try to shake the cobwebs out and get back to business. Grab a few items, although I don't imagine he's going to need a lot right at this moment. He's simply just going to go to the Artaeum and see if Urag is available and bring these books back and see what more he can find out about this orb, this Eye of Magnus that they have found.
No, not really. Couriers don't seem to like delivering letters here.
That's too bad.
Hopefully these books will shed some light. Szenac would have had a chance to look over them. He would have found the Night of Tears rather interesting. And maybe confirm a few things. Insofar as, the snow elves perhaps meddling or trying to meddle with things they didn't understand. It looks that Tolfdir and the Archmage have somehow teleported this orb. Well, there's Tolfdir. Let's go talk to him quick.
Good to see you.
Can you train me in alteration magic?
I can certainly share a bit of what I know.
So Szenac is going to take this opportunity to learn a little bit more in some other schools. And Tolfdir has taught him a bit about alteration, and since we do have a little bit of coin to work with, we're going to maybe buy a few things. Some new spells like Drop Zone, which is a very nice one to have. What else? What else? I don't know, not that. Wither, reduce the target's movement? No. That could be useful, but maybe not right now. Octo's Recital. Mage Light could be useful, but we do have our goggles, so we're not in dire need of light. Alright, well, maybe just the one for now. Alright. Tolfdir didn't have anything really interesting to say at the moment, so let's go and bring what we have back to Urag. So how would Szenac have gotten Orthorn's body all the way to Winterhold? Well, it would have taken him a long time. He would have run across probably some patrols that would have offered to help.
Revealed to me on its own in due time.
I don't want to see you treating
And make the trip a little bit easier, at least.
So
Here are the books that went missing.
Well, well, and you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Tolfdir. And here. I suppose you've earned these.
Have you made any progress translating Shalador's work?
We were able to figure out the last text you brought in. I thought the least I could do is pass the knowledge along. All right, then.
Well, let's take a look at some of the things that Urag has given us, as well as study up on the spell we got from Tolfdir. Complete catalog of enchantments and weaponry. Excellent. We'll have to hold on to this and read through it in a little more detail at another time. The Daughter of Nibbin. Daughter of the Nibbin, that is. Okay. Another one for later. Recital. Racial. Okay. Response to Barrow's speech. Interesting. I'm not going to read all of these, but I am going to read one of them. Restore Magica, Giant Lichen, and a Pearl. That's good to know. Let's learn up on Drop Zone and the Black Arts on Trial.
The Black Arts on Trial by Hannibal Treven. Necromancy, commonly called the Black Arts, has a history that dates back before recorded time. Virtually all the earliest laws of the land make mention of it as expressly forbidden on pain of death. Independent practitioners of the arts of sorcery, however, continue its study. The Szenac Order of the Isle of Artaeum, precursor to our own Mages Guild, also forbade its use, not only because it was dangerous, but their belief in the holy and unholy ancestor spirits made it heretical. Again, despite this, we hear many stories of students and masters who ignored this stricture. When Vanus Galerian left Artaeum, he may have disagreed with the Szenacs on much, but he also refused to allow necromancy to be taught in the guild. Almost 1100 years have passed since the time of Vanus Galerian, and there have been many archmagisters to lead his guild. The question of necromancy has continued to be asked. The strictures against it in the guild have never been lifted, but attitudes about it have shifted back and forth over the years. Some archmagisters have been inclined to ignore it entirely. Some have fought very actively against it, and still other archmagisters have been rumored to be necromancers themselves. In my new role as Archmagister of the Mages Guild, it is my duty to set policy on this matter. Though I have my own opinions on the Black Arts, I took counsel with two of the most learned mages in the Empire, Magister Voth Carlis of Corinth, and Magister Ulyssida Gra-Cog of Orsinium, and we debated for 2 days. What follows are summaries of the salient points of the debate, arguments and counter-arguments, which led to the resolution of the Mages Guild on the subject of necromancy. Argument by Master Gra-Cog. Necromancy is poorly understood. We will not make it disappear by ignoring it. As an intellectual institution dedicated to the study of magical arts and sciences, we have obligations to the truth. Censoring ourselves in our scholarship is antithetical to our mission of neutrality and objectivity. Counter-argument by Master Carlis. The Mages Guild must balance its quest for knowledge with responsible caution and ethical standards. It is not censoring a student's course of study to have him proceed cautiously and with purity of purpose. It is not limiting a student's freedom to set rules and boundaries. Indeed, it is essential. Argument by Master Carlis. Necromancy is an anathema throughout the civilized world. To embrace it publicly, the Mages Guild would inspire fear and hostility in the populace at large. Vanus Galerian wanted this institution to be unlike the Szenac Order, which was elitist and separatist. We ignore public opinion at our own risk. We will certainly lose our charters in many places, including, very likely, the whole of Morrowind, where sentiment against necromancy is very strong. Counter-argument by Master Gra-Cog. Yes, we should be sensitive to the concerns of the community, but they should not and must not dictate our scholarship. Necromancer to many uneducated persons simply means an evil mage. It is madness to limit our work because of prejudices and half-formed understanding. It is an affront to the purpose of objective study to turn our back on a subject merely because of public opinion. Argument by Master Gra-Cog. Necromancers are the scourge of Tamriel. Whether operating independently or in concert with the Slodes or the King of Worms, Manimarco, they are responsible for many horrors, animated zombies and skeletons and other forms of the undead. To best combat this menace, we must understand the powers of the necromancer, and we cannot do that by restricting our study of the black arts. Counter-argument by Master Carlos. No one is disputing the threat of the black arts. In fact, that is the very essence of my argument against the Mages Guild making it a school to be taught in our initiates. To our initiates. We can and should know what our enemy is capable of, but we must be careful not to step into a trap of looking too deep into his ways and making those ways our own. We do no one any good if by studying the evil ways we become evil ourselves. Argument by Master Carlos. Necromancy is inherently dangerous. One cannot dabble in it. The simplest spell requires the spilling of blood, immediately begins to corrupt the caster's soul. This is not conjecture, but simple fact. It is irresponsible of the guild to teach and thereby encourage a sort of magical study which has proven itself time and time again to bring nothing but terror and misery on the practitioner and world. Counter-argument by Master Grakog. All schools of magicka are dangerous to the uninitiated. A simple fireball spell from the School of Destruction can cause great harm when cast by a novice, not only to others but to the mage himself. The School of Mysticism, by its very nature, forces the practitioner to divorce his mind from logic, to embrace a temporary sort of insanity, which one might argue is very like corrupting one's soul. Argument by Master Grakog. The guild already permits some form of necromancy. The schools of magicka are, as we know, artificial constructs originally formulated by Vanus Galerian to divide and thereby simplify study. They have changed many times throughout the years, but at their heart every master knows they are all linked together. When a student of conjuration summons a guardian ghost, he is touching on the school of necromancy. When a student of enchantment uses a trapped soul, he too may be considered guilty of a black art. The School of Mysticism, as I have stated before, has some kinship with necromancy as well. To state that students may not learn the ways of necromancy is to stifle common skills in other, more historically legitimate schools of the guild. Counter-argument by Master Carlos. Yes, the schools are intertwined, but the standard spells of each school have passed the proof of time. We know that a student of mysticism, properly instructed, will not be permanently harmed by his experience. In many ways, it is a question of extremes. How far would we permit our studies to take us? Necromancy, by its very nature, relies on the practitioner going further into the darkness than is wise, virtually guaranteeing his destruction. It has no place in the Mages Guild. Conclusion. The risks of studying necromancy outweigh its usefulness. The guild does not wish to censor the study of any of its members, but it will not tolerate studies in the black arts, except in limited form for the purpose of combating its evil adherents. These may only be done by rare individuals who have proven themselves both highly skilled and highly cautious, and then only with my express permission and supervision. Afterward, I regret to acknowledge that the truth behind the rumor that Master Ulyssata Grakog was more than an apologist for necromancy. She was a necromancer herself. Upon this revelation, the Knights of the Lamp attempted to arrest her at the guild house in Orsinium, but she made good her escape. We have every confidence in the replacement magister in Orsinium. Though I disagree, I respected her logical reasoning enough to include her arguments in this book, and I see no reason to remove them. It is disappointing, however, to see that her interest in the truth was nothing more than a euphemism for her slavery to the black arts. This unfortunate situation merely illustrates how essential it is for guild members to be worthy of the lure of necromancy, and to be vigilant to its practitioners' infiltration in our Mages Guild. Very interesting. I must go find Tolfdir now. And let him know what Urag has found in the Night of Tears, and that he should read such book. Hold on. What am I doing? Tolfdir was near the orb last I saw him. My mind is addled. Too much drink last night. Hopefully he's still there. I really don't feel like searching for him throughout the whole college.
Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary.
Naturally. How did they get that here? Ah, there he is. Good.
Good to see you.
Urag suggested I come see you.
Such fine people. Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery?
I found a certain book, Night of Tears.
Is that the one about something buried beneath Sarthal? Something that men and Mare fought over? I'll have to make a point of rereading it. I don't recall the details. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Ayleid, Dwemer, Daedric, not even Frau.
They're not Dwemer. It's beautiful.
It practically radiates magic.
Absolutely beautiful.
Unlock its secrets.
What?
I'm afraid I must.
Did you?
It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We're involved in
What's
serious
going on?
research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
Yes, I hope
I
so.
need you to come with me immediately. Let's go.
I don't understand what's going on.
Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Szenac Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you specifically. So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants.
Why are you so concerned about this?
I'll be the one asking the questions. All you need to know is that the Szenac Order is a rogue organization, believing themselves to be above the law. They have clashed with the Dwemer Dominion before, and I have no intention of allowing that to happen here.
understand. I'm gonna have to go see. Why would a Szenac be here? I walked right past him.
Restoration is a perfectly valid...
Now, I said let's go, now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this episode. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, safe travels.